Yo, what's going on guys, HyperX here, welcome back to a video for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, and today I want to talk about Endgame, more specifically what exactly is the current endgame. Keep in mind, when it comes to Monster Hunter games, the endgame you get at launch may well differ to, say, if we fast forward a few months down the line when they've introduced DLC, new monsters, sometimes new mechanics, so naturally this could evolve in time. But as it currently stands, for those of you guys that are playing through Sunbreak and you're wondering what you have to look forward to when you reach endgame, what are the sort of things that you will be doing, especially in light of the fact that Monster Hunter Rise itself didn't really have much of an endgame loop, then hopefully today I can answer that question. If you guys do enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. Let me know in the comments down below, how are you getting on so far? Where are you in the game? Are you approaching endgame? And what are you doing? And of course, don't forget to keep it locked because we have tons of Sunbreak videos, guides coming your way. So to begin with, once you have completed the game, of course you've defeated the final boss, which by the way I will not talk about in this video. You guys can experience that for yourself. It is incredibly cool. But once you have completed the quote-unquote story, defeated that boss, you are then into the end game of Monster Hunter. Now, typically if you have played Monster Hunter games before, you'll be familiar with the fact that this typically revolves around doing quests, farming gear, and increasing your, at the time, Hunter rank and now Master rank. Now that of course is your primary goal initially, because when you get to end game, you, depending on how many things you farm, depending on how many sort of tangents you've gone on, will be a different master rank, and at different thresholds you have new things to unlock. Initially these thresholds will be quite small, you make these sort of initial jumps and you fight more monsters, and then of course as you progress into sort of like master rank 30, 50, 70 and 100, those gaps get bigger. So initially you will be working on getting your master rank up so you can unlock and fight all the monsters. The last monster of course right now unlocks at master rank 100, so if you want to fight everything, that is going to be one of your goals. However, outside of that, you are then introduced to Anomaly quests and Afflicted monsters. Anomaly quests are special types of quests that are available as you progress your MR. As you get further in your MR and you complete your urgent quests, more of them will unlock. And in these quests, you'll be fighting Afflicted monsters. Now, for those of you guys that have played previous Monster Hunter games, the easiest comparison would be Generation Ultimate's Hyper monsters. They are still slightly different, but Afflicted monsters are effectively tanky, heavy-hitting versions of existing monsters, but they've turned aggressive due to the Curio's influence. If you guys have fought Malzeno and you are aware of the Curio, the little sort of flying sucky bats, they are basically afflicting these monsters. When you fight them in combat, they will have this sort of ominous red glow. They'll have different glowy sections to them, which you will then need to attack, which is why I made the comparison to, say, Hyper monsters. And when you do that, it pops them and it can then knock them over. But conversely, if you don't do that in time, then that can sort of lead to a meaty explosion, which can do a lot of damage. These monsters hit hard, but in defeating them, you will then get Afflicted materials. This, of course, links into one of your primary drivers for endgame, because once you get to the endgame, every single weapon, or almost every single weapon, has a rarity 10 version, which means you can take any of the weapons that you like, even if it's not necessarily a quote-unquote best weapon. You can take something like Lagombi weapons, or say like, I don't know, one of the bug weapons if you want to, and you can upgrade it all the way to rarity 10. However, these rarity 10 upgrades will need Afflicted materials, and they come in different forms: bones, blood, pelts, scales, etc. So you will naturally need to fight different monsters to get different materials. So that is one of your primary drivers: completing Anomaly quests, farming Afflicted monsters, and using those materials to upgrade your weapons. In addition to this, upon completing Anomaly quest, you will also get Outfit Voucher Plus, so for those of you guys that want to make layered armor, you're going to need some of this. Layered armor, of course, is not unlocked until you have completed this story, and once you've done that, this will be the thing you are pursuing, because let's be honest, fashion hunting is the real end game. If you want to look cool, and you want to wear whatever armor set you want, like me, then you're going to need outfit vouchers, and these come from Anomaly quests, so that is another driver. Of course, outside of that, Afflicted materials also feed into some of the endgame decorations if you want some of those nice meaty decorations, so you need to save materials for those as well. Outside of that, of course, don't forget you can feed materials into the melding pot, and thanks to some of the new items, you can also meld incredibly quickly, so if you are hoping to get a nice new charm with some of those new skills, then this will also be your focus. But as it currently stands, that is largely speaking it. Outside of that, once you complete the story, you do need to go back and finish off those quests. Don't forget, if you do some of the follower quests, they will unlock weapons and sometimes sort of additional things like that. So if you want items like Fiorian's Sword and Shield, Master Olo's Gun Lance, etc., you're also going to want to go and clean up your quests. But largely speaking, that is what you'll be focusing your attention on. Once you get to endgame, you'll be grinding MR so that you can get to Master Rank 100 and unlock those final fights. You'll be doing Anomaly quests to farm Afflicted monsters so you can then upgrade your weapons and of course then craft those new decorations. And you'll also be farming those tickets kits so you can then get your layered armor sets. That is effectively your endgame right now. Also, while I have your attention, if you're looking for yet another way to enhance your gaming experience, then just give me 30 seconds of your time to talk about a brand new product I've been using that has been awesome for gaming. The new HyperX Cloud Mix Buds are a product that I've personally been super excited about, and they are finally here. I have, for the longest time, been using the original Cloud earbuds for absolutely everything, but now we can go wireless. These are ultra low latency, they boast an impressive 33-hour battery life, and of course come in a nice handy little charging case. There are 3 different size in-ear fittings for optimal comfort, and while primarily you will be using these for gaming with the low latency dongle, they do also feature Bluetooth connectivity, so you can take them on the go when you're out and about or at the gym like I do. For more details, click the link in the description box down below. But for the time being, that is pretty much it. That's a little rundown on the endgame loop of Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak so far. Again, don't forget that may well change when they introduce the subsequent title updates, and of course they add more monsters, but for the time being, that should answer your question. If you guys have missed some of our recent videos, be sure to check out one of these ones, and stay tuned for plenty more.